All right, one last example of the labor conflicts, and that's the Pullman strike in 1894, 2 years after the Homestead strike. This is going to take place in the company town of Pullman. Now, a company town is where the company controls everything. In fact, oftentimes the workers didn't get paid in cash. They got paid in company dollars. And they had to live in the company home where the company charged rent. They had to pay the company store to buy food. So the company set all the prices. And in 1893, there's an economic downturn where the company lays off 3,000 out of the 5,800 employees. So quite a few employees, almost half are going to be laid off. The ones that remain, they cut wages 25 to 40%. But here's the thing, it's a company town. The company kept the rent and the food prices exactly the same. People are struggling. They don't know what to do. They look to Eugene V. Debs and his new American Railway Union for help. These are railway workers. In the town of Pullman, they made Pullman cars. The railroad workers, after they join, Eugene Debs comes in and tries to negotiate some sort of an arrangement, and it fails. And because it fails, the workers go on strike. But it's not just the workers in Pullman. Now they got the American Railway on their back. So it's going to shut down the rail lines in 27 states. Nearly the entire Midwest is going to be shut down because of this Pullman strike in 1894. They shut down for a month. A month. President Grover Cleveland can't have this. He argues that he needs to make sure that the rail lines are used for the mail. So he decides to send in 2,000 federal troops, again, to be used against strikers who are only upset because they're being taken advantage of by the owners of the rail line. Sends in 2,000 federal troops to put down the Pullman strike. Meanwhile, he gets an injunction, which is a court order from a federal court telling the labor union that they're not allowed to be there anymore. Essentially, the power of the federal government is being used to crush workers who only are looking for a fair opportunity to negotiate with the company. I didn't even talk about the Latimer massacre, where in a mine, a number of mostly immigrants are going to be marching for their to try to get the ability to negotiate. Meanwhile, a sheriff and his posse murdered about 160 people. When they went up against them, the sheriff was like, I don't know, what did we do wrong? And then got off without any sort of punishment. The power of the government is being used against the workers here, and that's not going to change until 1900 with Teddy Roosevelt, when he comes out with what we're going to call the Square Deal.